What's up, Flomies of Earth and Hoopers of Heaven? Welcome to the Full Circle Phenomenal channel. I'm Catherine Hart, and what you're about to discover as we venture through the jungle between the border of Argentina and Brazil is the fundamentals that you'll need to know to begin a hula hooping practice. It's been a long road trip, 3 years and 13 countries to get to Brazil. Follow along and subscribe to learn more flow arts around the world. For today's practice, I will provide a menu right here for you to take a screenshot, and there will also be chapters in the video description below. Let's get started. Make sure that you're good and warmed up before we begin. You can find this in the top right-hand corner of your screen. First and foremost, we will cover planes. This plane is a hall plane, and I'm demonstrating this along a narrow walkway for a reason, so you can use a wall or a narrow hallway to master your planes here. So being a hall plane, notice how the hula hoop is traveling right alongside me. The hoop is spinning in between my thumb and my fingers, so I have full control if the hoop can stop it at any time. And that's pretty much it. Just make sure that your planes are nice and straight and not moving in a diagonal. The next plane that we'll cover is the wall plane, and we can do this one by turning our body 90 degrees to face a wall and spin the hoop in front of our bodies. In either direction, it doesn't particularly matter. Just make sure that that hoop stays in that perfectly flat wall plane right out in front of you, just like a wall. Now, for full mastery of this trick, you're going to want to practice going in both directions, with the hoop traveling to the left and to the right, and practicing with both hands. So there are 4 variations to the wall plane and 4 variations to the hall plane. Next, we will cover cross points, starting with the hoop spinning in the hall plane. Either direction is fine. And we're going to cross that hoop over to the other side so it can do a beat on your left and a beat on the right. I'll turn around now so I can show you from the front. You can mirror me here with your left hand if you'd like, or the other way is perfectly all right. So I'm going to pick a focal point out in front of me and hit that focal point with my hoop as it crosses over, staying in the same plane. Notice how my hoop is not twisting or turning and hitting the sides of the walkway here. It's staying nice and flat. And we're just doing 1 beat on each side. You're welcome to open it up and do multiple beats on each side. That's perfectly fine too for extra practice. But the cross points are going to move us into other tricks that become rather important. So practice this one with both hands, and eventually you'll be able to do this move with 2 hoops. And this move is also congruent with other flow arts props like poi and staff and so much more. Okay, we're going to practice this in the reverse direction now. And if you're struggling with understanding how to do this in the reverse direction, I recommend that you just go back to what you're familiar with the forwards direction, and then stop, freeze, retrace your steps. So we're leading with the pinky side of the hand and doing our absolute best to keep that hula hoop as close, tight, and flat in a hall plane as we possibly can, crossing it over, keeping it nice and tight. Once you're well practiced with this move, we'll move on to the next. Also changing locations, getting ever closer to Iguazu Falls. So what if we wanted to turn around 360 degrees with our hoops spinning? Would we spin our hoops and bend our planes all the way? We could, but that would take a lot more energy than necessary. And that's why we teach the 4 directions as a fundamental move. Starting with a cross point, so you must have the cross points. And to do this move correctly, notice how my hoop is spinning towards you, or towards my camera, for the entire move. So you're going to want to pick a direction for the hula hoop to go and keep it moving in that direction. Starting with the hoop on the side of your body, we're going to begin just spinning in a hall plane. And then turn your body 90 degrees to face the hula hoop. So now the hoop is at a wall plane,
And turning back, to turn the other way, we have to hit a cross point and then 90 degrees in the opposite direction to complete the full 180 degrees. Now, so to break that down a little bit more here, turning in the opposite direction of your hoop, we hit the cross point, turn 90 degrees. Notice how the hoop is in a wall plane in orientation with your body. And to come back, you hit that same cross point and turn 90 degrees the other way. Here it is in slow motion for you. Notice my hand. So the hoop spins around my hand for one beat, kind of around my thumb. You have to have a nice loose grip on the hoop. Notice my thumb. Yeah, so that's a key moment right there when you're coming back and the hoop spins on the thumb just for one moment. Now, so we have the 180 degrees. The next section is turning around to complete the full 360. So how do we do that? That's going to be a reverse direction cross point, and we are going to have to do the funny thumb thing. So let's break that down. Reverse direction spin, hit that cross point, stick your thumb in, open up your hand, let the hoop momentum carry it around, and returning to the original position, facing forwards, hoop spinning forwards in a hall plane. And practice going in both directions here. Turning your body in both directions. There's many variations that you can do with this, and you'll also want to practice with both hands. So play around with that. Here it is in slow motion for you one more time, turning the opposite way. Turning towards the hoop is the easy part. When it's in your right hand and you're turning to the right. Here is that reverse direction cross point. Open that hand, keep the fingers loose, and the spin continues in the same direction. Perfect 4 directions. We turn 90 degrees. Think of it like a clock. We have 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. And we complete the full circle with the hoop continuing to spin in the same direction that you started with. Now we'll practice with the other side. If you're mirroring me here, it's an opportunity to master your right hand even more. We have the initial cross point. Crossing the hoop over, turning your body 90 degrees to face that hoop now. First turn. Keep your breath moving as you spin. The next one will be a reverse direction cross point, or we'll turn our body 90 degrees first because that would be the easiest way to keep the 90 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree. So you turn our body, that's easy enough. Changes the orientation of the hoop, even though the hoop is still spinning in the same direction. Next is a reverse direction cross point while we turn our bodies 90 degrees once more. Notice the fingers. Let the hoop continue its momentum. And we have one more move, which is simply reorienting our body, turning our bodies 90 degrees to face back to the front. And that completes the full circle on this side. We'll also want to play with it in the opposite direction. So, easiest move ever, right? Turning towards the hoop. Don't have to do much with your hand there. And then, reverse direction cross point. Pick a spot that you want that hoop to hit across your body. Direct that hoop over, slightly behind you, but we're going to turn our body 90 degrees again. Do the funny thumb thing. Let the hoop roll around and catch it in your fingers. Good job. And then the next move is just turning our bodies again to facing the hoop. So we've just completed almost the full circle. And last move will be a cross point and turning our bodies once again to face the front. So hit that spot, cross point it over, directing the hoop with your fingers and hands, open it up to keep that hoop going. And we're back to the front. Great job, hoopers. Keep up the good work, keep up the practice. I see you guys out there improving and I'm so proud of you. Let me know what you guys thought of this video in the comment section. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, share it with your Flow Me friends around the world. I am so grateful to have been able to record this video tutorial at Iguazu Falls on the border between Argentina and Brazil on a global tour while driving around the whole world, becoming the first ever fire performer performers and flow artists to be on a global tour on land and sea like this. So this is a really special treat. We even recorded some of this video on Christmas Day. So happy holidays to you. May your year be ever more abundant and blessed, and your hula hoop journey continue to evolve with greater ease. Reach out directly for classes, performances, in person, online, and around the world. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you around the world.